When I decided to leave my 9 to 5, my family and friends thought I was absolutely nuts. They thought, okay, she's definitely lost it. Okay, somebody call the doctor. We need to check her in to a mental health facility, to a psych ward. We need to get her professional help. What is she talking about? She is leaving her career. Like she's leaving her 9 to 5. What? Like that was mind blowing to the people who surrounded me. And it's not that they didn't know or even to partially understand some of the things that I'd been going through because I was constantly sharing all of the different toxic environments and the hostile work environments and how tired I was getting and how sad I was and how miserable I was. And I was tired of battling in the boardrooms and fighting for my rights and practically fighting for my life, really, is what it boiled down to. But I don't believe they really understood to what degree, right? What was really going on inside of here. All they could see and all they knew is that you went to school for all of these years. You made all of these sacrifices. You neglected parts of your life, your family even at times because they were supporting me while I went through nursing school, right? And with nursing school, for anybody who knows, if you're a nurse, you know you practically have no life. And so when I was going through that chapter of my life, I was so sad and miserable. I was really, really unhappy. And the reason why my family and friends thought that I had just about lost it is because they were not at the same caliber as far as, the kind of jobs that they were privy to getting because of not because they lacked education necessarily, although that was sometimes true, but also because they just didn't have the kind of background and skill set and education that I had in order to get in these types of positions. So to them, as far as they were concerned, what do you mean you're leaving that good paying job? What do you mean that's a great company. You are making good money. You have good benefits, right? I mean, like I had the corner office and I worked with the C-suite execs. I'm working with doctors and lawyers, attorneys, board members, stakeholders. I'm traveling. I don't work too far from home. I have autonomy. I have flexibility. I have a corner office with a view. What do you mean you're leaving the 9 to 5? What are you talking about? Right? You are a high six-figure salary earner. Like you make great money. Those of us who can't make that, who are not in a position to make that, would kill for that, right? We would do anything to be in your position. But what they didn't take into consideration, what they hadn't thought about, what they didn't know deep down inside was what was going on in my mind. What was going on truly in my heart, in my soul, in my spirit, right? And they didn't understand fully that for me, this wasn't about a choice. This was about survival. I was in survival mode. I was barely surviving. I certainly, even at the peak of my game in the corporate arena, my soul was sad. Do you know what I'm saying? Have you been there before? I felt trapped in my career. I felt drained. I didn't want to keep, I was a fighter. I had the fight in me. I always had the attitude that, nope, I'm not letting them run me out of here. No, that they're going to have to drag me out of here. I'm not going out without a fight. We have that in us, especially when we are brown girls, right? Because the truth is, we do have a different fight. We do have a different struggle than that of our non-melanated counterparts and our non, in our male counterparts. It just is the truth, right? We know that because we experience it. We live it every single day based on the color of our skin and the color of our skin only. And then women collectively, right? Particularly women over 40 and marginalized groups like women in the LGBTQ plus community. So if you fit in any of those categories, working in the corporate environment, especially in a very demanding career or role such as I did, and I'm sure, you may be there now too, where, whatever industry you might be working in. For me, it was in the healthcare industry. So I was a clinician, been still a clinician, still an RN for 25 years and counting, working in the corporate arena for 30 long years. At some point, right, when we keep going through these challenging situations and circumstances, and we're placed in these predicaments that we don't want to be in, and that's not necessarily any fault of our own, it is just the culture of corporate America. We get tired, right? And we want out. I wanted out. Maybe you can relate. Again, I felt like even if I was afraid to leave, which I was, and I'll talk about that here shortly, and even if I didn't know what would happen if I walked away, even if my family and friends thought I had lost my whole, complete, entire mind, I was willing to make the sacrifice that was necessary to save my soul. Okay? So if you're there right now, if you can relate to me, listen, I've been there, done that. And I am here to tell you that there is a way out. There is absolutely a way out, and there are always choices. We have options, especially at this big old age. If you are a woman over 40, in your 50s, in your 60s, or beyond, girl, do understand you have a choice. There are options. There are too many options that many of us don't explore, right? We just ride it out. We just ride the wave. We just, we get comfortable being uncomfortable, but not in the right way, right? We get used to normalizing the abuse that we are receiving in these positions. We tolerate it because we are surviving it. So we make every excuse as to why it's okay that we are being mistreated, even when we know we are misaligned, even when we know it's time to go, we stay, right? So I want to talk to you about what I did, to get myself out of that mindset, because it really is a mindset shift, first of all, right? Let's talk about that for a minute. For me, I had, and I'm sure this is true for you too, I had all of these negative thoughts come up, right? So often we get in our own way, we self-sabotage, right? We have these negative narratives going on in our minds. It's what I call the dialogue demons. They just get at us. They won't shut up. They're constantly talking, constantly making you doubt, constantly making you fear, having this negative chatter going on in your mind all day, every day, throughout the day, at night when you're trying to sleep. They wake you up at night with all of these thoughts about what if. And there's always a what if in the negative way, right? What if I lose? What if I leave my job, leave my career after all this time that I've put myself and my family through what we've been through, the sacrifices everyone has made from me to be in this position, and we feel guilty about leaving? And what if I fail? What if I go out on a venture to start this business that I love, to transition out of corporate America into the business world altogether and do something I'm passionate about, and I fail horribly? And worse, I fail to the extent that I've got to return to the place that I didn't want to be at in the first place, and that I left to pursue my dreams, to pursue real happiness. And now I'm the laughing stock. Right now, everybody knows I had to go back because I failed. Well, you know what? You will fail. And you should fail forward fast. And you should use that failure as fuel and feedback to get to where you need to go. Because that is a part of the journey. That is a part of your destiny and your destination. And you will absolutely fail. We all do it. It's a part of life. I failed many times over. I did have to go back to the workforce. Okay. And so many people don't want to talk about this, don't want to have these conversations, these candid and courageous conversations that need to be had, because it's so much easier to talk about our public successes and showcase and display all of our accolades and all of the degrees we have and all of the certifications and the licensures and everything we've done to work, the educational um, experience, right? The big luxurious lifestyle, like everybody can put that out there with ease. Oh, but when you have to go backwards, when you fail, when you fall flat, when you fall down, when you trip over, when the hill is steep, when the muddy waters are muddy, when the terrain is steep, when the incline is steep, right? Nobody wants to talk about that. Nobody wants to talk about the private failures that's going on behind their closed doors, behind the curtains. Nobody wants to reveal the truth. We just want to talk about how good we have it, how golden life is. And that is not reality. That is not real life, right? Nobody wants to keep hearing about that because it is inauthentic. It is not genuine to say that your this whole time you've been on this path of success, this journey of this path of freedom, right? In this journey you've been on, that it's all been about success. It's just not true. It's not real. It's not believable. People will tune out from that kind of conversation. So we have to normalize talking about how we actually have fallen and have failed and what we did when we got up. The fact is, we got up and we keep getting back up. And that's what we've got to do, right? That's what's normal. That's what's real. That's what's genuine. That's what's relatable. That's what resonates with people. That's what pulls on their heartstrings. That's what makes you somebody that people can trust, right? When we start talking about our truths out loud and being okay with it, no matter what people say or think, because they're going to say and think what they want to anyway. So we cannot be concerned about judgment. Do you know what I'm saying? So, yes, my friends and my family thought I was nuts, and I had to be okay with that. We made light of it. I had to joke about it. But when I started to tell them more about what I was going through, you hear it depends on who you're surrounded by, but sometimes you'll be surrounded by people who just don't get it, especially if you're talking to your coworkers and your colleagues, right? They'll understand because they're going through it too, but they don't necessarily have the courage that you have. They're not working on their mindset, right? They'll tell you, oh, girl, yeah, I deal with it, but I'm surviving it. It's not like it's the end of the world. I mean, girl, you just got to play the game. How many times have we heard that, right? Just play the game. Girl, you ain't got to have no suction in your lips, but you got to pretend like you do. Like you ain't got to brown nose nobody, right? But, to get the brownie points and to be, so you're not walked out the door, so you're not handed your walking papers or your pink slip, so that you're not fired or terminated. You got to play the game, girl. Just go with the flow. I'm just here to collect that check. You hear all of that and then some, right? You understand. You get it. You've been there. You're there right now. And if you are, back to what I was saying earlier, you have options. So let's talk about, first of all, though, what we need to do about the mindset, right? Because the first thing I had to do to get rid of all of that negative conversation going on in my mind was confront the truth and confront the problem, address the beast, right? Because it's a monster that I created within me. And we had to calm that baby down. Like, no, you're not in control of me in my life. I am in control of me in my life. That's number one. Let's get that straight. You got this twisted. Okay. I'm the boss of me. You're not the boss of me. So let's get out of my head so I can get out of my way and I can keep it pushing and pursue my goals, my dreams, my aspirations that I'm deserving of, right? That's number one. And a part of that is making sure that even though you're dealing with the what ifs, turn that around from the negatives to the positive, right? What if I win? Not what if I lose? What if I win? What if I succeed? Not if what if I fail? What if I attract, not have to chase after clients, my ideal dream clients who want to work with me, who vibe with me? They are my peeps. They are my tribe. They want to seek help from me because they know that I'm an expert at what I do. They know I'm great at what I do. And they can't wait to work with me. And when I get them the results, the outcome, the transformation that they're looking for, imagine what if I can only imagine the testimonials that will come from that. And the more they will talk about me and my brand and how I help them and change their lives and transform them, and their trajectory is forever changed, and so is that of their bloodline, and now they're telling more and more and more people about you. What if that? What if that? you know so that's the first thing I need for you to do, is get out of your own way. Stop self-sabotaging. Stand up for yourself. Show up for yourself. Show off for yourself. Show out for yourself. Be confident in knowing who you are and whose you are. Because our Creator created us for something greater. And I need you to show up for you, because nobody is coming to save you but you. So put on your oxygen mask first, as you have heard time and time again. Put it on. Rescue yourself, because you've got other people, I am sure, like I do, depending on you. Your family, your children, right? They're depending on you. You are a legacy leader, as am I. We are legacy leaders, ambitious women, high achievers. We know what we want. We're boss chicks. We go after what we want and we don't stop until we get it. That is how we got that good paying job with the good benefits and the corner office and the bonuses and the perks and the benefits and all the things. But if you're not happy here, you need to go search within and find that happiness again. Reconnect to that youthful place that you once were. And if it ain't right now, and right now you are burnt out, stressed out, exhausted from the life you're living, from barely surviving, if you are losing sleep, if it is taking a toll on you mentally, physically, spiritually, financially, in whatever other ways, babes, it's time to bounce. We got to go. We got to go. Okay? The second thing you need to do is make a financial plan. I know, girl. I know we don't be wanting to look at our numbers. We don't want to pull out them statements. We don't want to see where we're overspending, where we need to decrease expenses, where we're not saving, where we're not investing in the right places, right? Because oftentimes we are doing things that are filling that empty void. We're medicating the pain with things that don't matter, things that are not going to give us a return on our investment. Am I right, or am I right? Can we just tell the truth and shame the devil, please? And thank you. Okay? That's what we're going to do over here today. Tell the truth and shame the devil. Okay? You know it and I know it. So what do the numbers look like? Is the math mathing? Is the bank account banking? Accounting? Accounting in the bank? Right? Are we making it do what it needs to do? Like, seriously. I'm saying to you, what is it that you need to do to prepare for your exit? Have you made a plan? Have you created or devised an exit strategy for your transition? Because it can be smooth or it could be rocky, right? We don't want no rocky roads. We don't want no bumpy rides. We want a smooth, seamless transition. How do we get there? We need to decrease the expenses. Where are we spending our money that's not necessary? I'm not saying you need to deprive yourself, but I am saying that, do we really need all the handbags? Do we really need all of the high-end shoes? Do we really need all of the glam, the glitz, the hair did every 2 weeks, the nails every week or two? Do we really need the fanciest of the fancy of cars, right? Do we really need all the space in our house that we're not using? Does it have to be 3,500, 5,000 square feet? Does it really? Right? I mean, what and maybe it's not even that. Maybe it's small things. Do you need all of the subscriptions that you have? You need Netflix, Hulu, Peacock, HBO, all of the TV channels. I don't watch TV, haven't in years, so I don't know all the channels, but do you need all of the subscriptions? Do you need Spotify and Pandora, and is Redbox still out? Is that still a thing? I mean, do you need all of them? Or can you do away with a few and just boil it down to one or two of your favorites? You know? So you don't have to deprive yourself, but can you splurge in moderation? What expenses do you not need? It's not a necessity, right? And it's actually burdening you because you're living beyond your means. Like you're putting into these materialistic things that's not giving you anything back except for the moment that it makes you feel worthy and validated, because you don't feel that at your job. You don't feel that in your career. But it's temporary, boo. It's temporary. You feel me? We want something that's going to give us a return on our investment for the long haul. So, what can that be? Save your money, work some side hustles, a side hustle or two, a side business of some freelance work. Okay, there's a lot of independent contract work you can be doing. Just choose one, whatever you're good at, whatever you're best at. I actually have a video where I talked about side businesses versus side hustles or side gigs so you don't burn out because you're wanting to do this while you're working a full-time career. Can you minimize or decrease or reduce the hours that you're working currently? Can you go down to a part-time position? Can you work some modified hours so that you can wean yourself out? Make some side money and start investing in your dream business. Let's do that. Okay. For me, it was savings, it was side businesses, and sometimes side hustles. Yes. Okay. I can attest to that. Or I could admit that. And support. I had a very strong support system. My family and my friends, especially my family. Okay. So those three things is what saved me and helped make it a smooth transition for me. So find that for yourself, okay? Those are the things that you need to work on next. And then creating a vision for my next chapter. Create a vision for your chapter. What do you envision for your life? We know it ain't this chapter. We want to close this chapter. We want to write a whole new chapter. We want to rip this chapter out, crumble it up, throw it away, and burn that baby, right? And we don't ever want to really have to look back other than to say, been there, done that, ain't going back. Never going back, right? I'm not going back. I'm not going back. That's where we want to be. So how do you close that chapter and create a new chapter? You've got to get crystal clear. Clarity. Clarity will give it to you all day, every day. Get laser focused on what you want and not caught up in the agenda of what everybody else wants for you, right? It's not about their agenda. It's not their chapter. It's not their story to write. It's not their ship to sail, right? It's not their life to design. It is yours, my dear, yours. And you are deserving of so much more. So get in alignment with your passion and purpose, your true core values and your passion and purpose, and align your passion and purpose to a profitable problem, because that is where it all begins. When you are pursuing your dream business, you need to know who it is you are serving, who are the people you want to work with, who do you want to get the results for, who can you get the best results for, and then start working on that passion while you're still in your job. Because I don't dare say, unless you are in a very toxic environment, a hostile work environment that is detrimental to your health, then you need to leave quickly, as quickly as possible. Then we need to come up with another plan, like a right now plan, right? Like it's almost too late. We got to get to it plan. But if you're not there, and if you can stay for a moment longer in survival mode, okay, while you're working your way out, then that's the plan we need to be creating so we can implement and get out as soon as possible. Okay. So if you found value in this video, hit that like button. Give me a virtual nod that it's all good and you found value in it. And if you want to hear more of, how to transition from your job, be it a toxic job, a hostile work environment, or simply just a career that no longer serves you, we talk all things career transitioning, business, leadership, mindset, manifestation, right? And your health, healing, and happiness. We've got to prioritize that all day, every day. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And I'm going to tune out while you tune in. Be sure to stay and watch the next video that YouTube recommends. As always, and until next time, I am wholeheartedly in this journey with you. Bye for now.